And hi, how you doing? And we're live right here. We're at my house right now. So if you hear the background, you hearing my lawn guy. He's doing the lawn right now. So let's just go ahead and introduce my guest real quickly, Dr. William Barnes from Barnes Holistic. Oh, you all too kind. Stop it. You're too kind. Stop it. Okay, go ahead. Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah, go ahead. No, he's doing it. Yeah, he's fine. And Dr. Barnes, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you.
And so this is Pastor Prophet Brian J. Anderson, Secret Tabernacle Deliverance Ministries. And I just want to introduce Dr. William Barnes. I met him some 3 years ago, and when I was at AM 1590 WRXB, and he was a guest of one of the programs we had, and so we connected. We both love the Lord, and we connected, and he's been a mentor of sorts to me. He's poured into my life, and he's allowed me, through the grace of God, to pour into his life.
Amen.
And so he's also the founder of Barnes Holistic Counseling. Can you talk about that, Dr. Barnes?
Well, certainly. Barnes Holistic Counseling Service is a community mental health agency that was created for the purpose of helping and reaching out to minority and underserved populations. There's been a huge negligence of the needs of people of color throughout the United States in terms of them receiving counseling services, mental health services, and because of the stigma that has been heretofore attached to those persons who are needing or seeking mental health. But I'm here to say to you today that what I've found over the 13 years that we've been practicing here in St. Petersburg and the 42 years of experience that I've had as a therapist and a counselor, what I found is that the most brave people are those people who acknowledge that they have something that's challenging them. And rather than be the ostrich and put their head in the sand on the problem, they acknowledge the problem. And they begin to seek help. And to their surprise, they have made tremendous progress and tremendous success. The quality of life has improved dramatically. And while they often want to credit me with the behavioral changes or the benefits that they've gained through therapy, it's really them. They are the ones who do the work.
Dr. Barnes, that's wonderful. And I just want to, for those who just tuning in right now, this is Pastor Prophet Brian J. Anderson, and I'm live here with Dr. William Barnes from Barnes Holistic Counseling. And the question I have, Dr. Barnes, is the word holistic counseling. Could you please explain it for those who may be a little bit confused than the traditional counseling? You know, everybody got the image of being on the couch and, you know, the Hollywood portrayal when they got the pen in the hand and the paper. But yours is holistic counseling. Could you expound on that a little further?
Absolutely. Well, first, to contrast the two, allopathic therapy, which basically refers to traditional therapies and those based on the AMA and the pharmaceutical concept of treating persons with pharmacotherapy or medications, has been what we've all used to and familiar with. Unfortunately, allopathic medicine is the fifth least used form of healing modalities worldwide.
Why is that?
Well, because the world has made advances and allowed the various traditions of the healing arts to be fully explored and appreciated, while in the U.S. those healing modalities have been suppressed, mainly because of the multi-billion-dollar industry of the pharmaceutical industries, who are in cahoots with the insurance companies, and they, of course, have their agents, which are medical doctors. Now, I don't wish to indict all medical doctors by any means, but the very traditional therapies are limited by these three bodies. So while holistic therapies are gaining momentum worldwide, and we're seeing tremendous gains in the U.S. with people expressing satisfaction, and of course from the use of homeopathy, from the use of Ayurvedic therapies, from the use of natural approaches to therapeutic wellness. Well, in the holistic community, we embrace the very best of East and West therapeutic modalities. We don't refer to them all as medicines. We refer to them by many names. We refer to them as healing remedies. We refer to them as homeopathy. We refer to them as Bach flower essences. We refer to them as essential oils, which includes those other therapies, aqua therapies. There are many therapies that have been shown to actually be curative or to promote healing, including things like acupuncture, homeopathy, the use of the research of Edward Bach in the Bach flower remedies. Powerful essences able to moderate emotional imbalance without drugs.
So would you? I'm sorry, I mean interrupted. But the thing that interests me when you broke it down like that, would you say that the non-use of this method of therapy is one of the, if I'm phrasing this right, would you say one of the precursors to the opioid problem we have now?
Absolutely.
Would you say that by a lot of people not using these methods of holistic methods? And it seems like everybody, want that easy, quick way out.
They want a pill.
Right.
They want a quick fix without understanding that the body does not respond well to pharmacotherapies that actually have a rapid effect upon the body. The body does not respond to rapid change. It doesn't like it. And so what is produced as a result of the effects that are not liked by the body are what we call side effects. And these side effects can be extremely problematic. Some can even result in occlusion of the throat, breathing difficulties, organ failure. And the risks of these substances are not warranted when there are well-known therapeutic modalities available in the holistic community, in the holistic world, that will do the same thing to moderate anxiety, to moderate depression, to increase the child's ability to focus in school, to help a person overcome depression or the symptoms of bipolar disorder and the mania. These remedies actually work to balance the human being. And so we refer to these holistic because they actually are whole person. They treat the whole person, not just the symptoms that have been recognized, which often are suppressive therapies in the allopathic realm or traditional medicine, suppress. The holistic therapies focus on expressing dis-ease, and I spell that word D-I-S space E-A-S-E, because the body is in disequilibrium whenever it is reporting illness or symptomologies. This equilibrium has occurred. The focus needs to be on balancing the person systemically, not just focusing on a symptom. For example, you go to a skin doctor. The doctor says, hey, I see you have a skin problem here. Let me give you this cream. But the cream is only affecting the area where it's localized and come in contact with.
Okay.
But in actuality, the pathogen is in the bloodstream, circulating through the whole body. So treating the area here where you see results or evidence that this disease or disease processes may be in action doesn't really treat the underlying root causes. Whereas holistic focuses on treating the root causes of a problem, not just simply focusing on symptoms, which can go on as a never-ending journey.
So that's amazing how you broke that down.
Thank you.
And we got about 5 minutes left. And once again, you listen to the Voice of the Village podcast. This is Pastor Prophet Brian J. Anderson. I have with me at my home. That's why you hear the background. We actually live. I actually got my yard guy showed up, but I didn't want to stop the interview because this guy's time is so precious. This is Dr. William Barnes of Barnes Holistic Counseling right here in St. Petersburg, Florida. And Dr. Barnes, what would you say your success rate? I'm asking you a twofold question. My first question is, what would you say your success rate percentage-wise with holistic counseling? Secondly, would this be effective for those who suffer from PTSD?
Oh my, you're really going into an area where holistic therapies have been proven to be extremely successful. Within PTSD itself, there are the expressions of both depression and anxiety, often which are associated with panic attacks, triggered by a prior exposure to a life-threatening experience or witnessing a life-threatening experience in which you felt that you could not escape from, and therefore the trauma sets in with recurring flashbacks. Those flashbacks, when they occur, put you actually back in that particular scary situation from which you could not escape, in which your life was feared to be lost, much as what you see in veterans and others. But women are also exposed to this because of domestic violence. The black community, when I think of the black community, I think of PTSD as post-traumatic slave disorder, because the trauma that people of color are experiencing to this day, and the denial that has been 250 years in delay, over 400 years in total, denying the humanity of people of color. Even we see that even recently with the attack in the school in Park, Florida, where a third of the school is African American. But if you looked at the media, you would never know that, because none of those kids.
A third of the school is African American.
A third of this affluent school is African American, and in this very affluent community, and yet not a single media outlet interviewed any of the black kids for the trauma that they experienced having their school shot up with 17 members of their school community, including teachers and students, murdered.
Well, why was that? Because would you say the reason they didn't do that? Because I noticed that it was an African American superintendent. Am I right in that? He was the superintendent of schools in that area.
I'm not certain about that. So.
There was a black gentleman, African American superintendent.
Okay.
And I noticed he spoke when it happened.
Okay.
But you're right. All I kept seeing on all the talk shows were white students. So
white students.
It would at least believe that the school was predominantly white, and you sit and tell me a third of that school.
A third.
Had African American students attending.
I've actually had a mother from Park, Florida, contact me because of the trauma that her daughter. This is a white family that her daughter's experiencing because she's not getting the help and the support that she needs for her daughter there in Park, Florida. But I want to commend the students of Park, Florida, Parkland, Florida, I'm sorry, for their due diligence and for the community uprising and going to Tallahassee and demanding that something be done about these guns being in the hands of people that shouldn't have access to the guns. I'm a full supporter of Second Amendment, a right to bear arms. However, our schools need to be kept safe, and these children who are suffering from this they suffered equally, both black and white, but because the media marginalizes people of color, ignores their pain. This is in the 21st century. So this is not by chance. A third of the entire school is black. And yet they were never, not a single one of them, was interviewed for the pain, the trauma, the suffering. So in other words, like, if a white person suffers, it's important, it's relevant. Let's bring attention to it. Let's do what's needed to fix it. Let's take a call to action. But yet, the black kids who suffer the same thing, their needs are ignored. This is part of that post-traumatic slave disorder I'm referring to, because even though they're still under assault by the communities that they live in.
Okay, Dr. Barnes, we got 1 minute left, and I'm going to let you finish your thought up. And before we close out, I'm going to need that percentage from you.
Okay.
Once again, this is Dr. William Barnes.
Yes.
On the Voice of the Village, we're getting ready to close out. Dr. Barnes, the last 45 seconds. Please give a percentage and finish your thought.
Well, the percentage, well, when you think about the population of people of color nationwide, and the fact that this part probably has largely been ignored and neglected, this is the reason why we must begin to look for alternative, cheaper, and more effective ways to treat illness, and to know that when we use research-based thought around the world, we should not allow the AMA or the pharmaceutical industry or these greed-based medicine initiatives to keep out alternative therapies. And I want to thank the NIH for adopting the Complementary and Alternative Medicine Act to facilitate that.